Hey, can you hear me okay? Your mics are switched off, so you'll need to turn your mics on.
I think mine's on. Can you hear me?
Here yet? Perfect.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? It's nice to see your face.
I know. I washed my hair and
Oh,
everything. Look at me.
oh, sorry, I've just lost myself. Hold on.
Rachel, you can type in the box as well. So even just type yes that you can hear me okay, or like give me a thumbs up. Excellent. Right, so basically we're going to go through, there's some people that should still be joining, but I'm hoping that this is recording, so I can add it, because there's some people that obviously can't make it for whatever reason. So I kind of wanted to just
Yeah.
run through certain things. Obviously wanted to open up the room to basically like allow you guys to ask questions or run through anything that you're maybe got concerns about, that you're not sure about, and things like that. So basically there was obviously like loads of general kind of consent. Obviously loads of people have got different concerns and different worries, but the outcomes are generally the same. Obviously we're all going through this kind of situation together, and it's all going to, more so I want to kind of talk more so about like mindset strategies and things that we need to be like prioritizing and considering while we're in this phase, because it's going to be going on, we don't know how long it's going to be. It could be another 3 weeks, it could be another 2 months. We really have no idea at this moment in time, so we're going to have to look at like obviously having things in place, having like routine structures, all these things that I've been chatting to you all about, nailed and have them in place. But we also need to look at, okay, the conversations and things that we're having, outside of, you know, how you're surrounding yourself, the kind of the positivity or the negativity that's maybe then obviously playing a big part of how you think, how you operate, and how you feel and things. So first of all, what I just opened up with was obviously everybody's on a different body transformation or a different journey as such. But what I want you to remember and have comfort in is that nothing's really changed. Yes, of course, certain aspects might have changed, but the fundamentals and the long-term vision and picture, I don't want those to change whatsoever. Think about your body transformation as a roadmap. Imagine you are driving down like to England, you're driving on the M6, but you all of a sudden come across a car crash. You now have the option to either quit and just sit there and stay steady, or you have the opportunity to take an A road or a B route, and it's just going to be a different route now. But it doesn't mean that that transformation effectively needs to change. It's just going to be a case of, okay, what's the best kind of outcome? And so you've basically still got the fuel in your car, and you've still got the car to operate the journey. So you've still got me as a coach, and you've still got yourself to be accountable and to keep processing the right kind of in the right direction. So it's always going to be about, okay, let's accept that this is a diversion, it's we're having to change things around. But as you'll see already, that some of the home workouts and stuff that you've got, you maybe thought at the time it was like, oh god, like how am I going to even still make progress? How am I going to look after my muscle mass? How am I going to still build muscle mass potentially? How am I just going to be now like doing some crappy home workouts and some crappy hip workouts that I'm not really that motivated for? But already you can see that from the sessions that you've got, that you're working really, really hard, and now you've hopefully got that realization and that understanding that you can still achieve a lot being at home. And actually you've probably got a better window of opportunity to make further progress, because you don't have other things to sidetrack you anymore. You don't have, unfortunately, of course, but we don't have nights out, weekends away, we don't have social occasions. We've got more time on our hands as well, that we can start thinking about, okay, how can I be more structured with my day? How can I be more structured around my eating? How can I look after each component that positively influences the task at hand that we've got? So it's going to be a case of, yeah, okay, things have changed a little bit, and now it's just accepting, right, this is the circumstances that I've got, and these are the options that I've got to keep moving forward and keep ticking every box. So obviously at the start, you maybe thought, we all kind of went through this kind of thought process where the first occasion was probably you felt a little bit of denial, a little bit of, that whatever people were talking about potentially could have happened, but that it didn't. You weren't really going to expect it to happen. Then there was probably a bit of shock that this was happening and that you were going to go through that. Then there was probably a bit of anxiety, which is, some people are maybe still stuck there a little bit. And then there was a little bit maybe of anger for different reasons. Maybe people like going through that process of struggling to find meaning to your days, struggling to find a routine, a process, a way to still continue to work towards what you wanted to work towards, thinking that it was maybe a little bit now impossible. And then you've probably felt a little bit upset, a little bit low, a little bit depressed about things, felt quite overwhelmed, quite feel stressed. And then hopefully what if you're not there yet, the final destination place that we want to get to is finding a place of acceptance and accepting, okay, this is where I'm at right now, coming to terms with that, and now saying, oh, but do you know what, I can still try different things now, and working, it's just going to be a work case of working with what we've got, and then continue to make that progress now that we're in that place. So don't worry if you're not in that place yet, you're going to get to that place once you start to fine tune your thought process and see what you can do and still can manage, and then amongst, you know, the mayhem that we're under at this moment in time. So what I want you to think about at this moment in time is what is in your control, and what can you still do for you to still make the progress that you set out to achieve, you know, when you signed up and when you decided to go on a body transformation journey, however long ago that was for each and every one of you. So it's going to be a case of, okay, right, this is where we're at, but how are you going to now change the way you think and the way you operate to make things happen, and think about, okay, well, what can I do now, and actually start thinking about, look at what you can achieve and look at what you can do and what is within your control. It's like I say, it's a change in the journey a little bit, it's a change in the direction, but it's not a stopgap. It's not, nothing's changing from the standpoint that, you know, we're still going to work towards these things. So think about it this way, that you are still in charge of how this ends up and how this looks, and there is going to be certain things that we should still be doing, and each of you have different kind of goals, and different kind of outcomes, of course, but the fundamental things that we need in place should still remain. And there's each of you I'm going to speak to, and I am speaking to individually, because obviously there's different goals and there's different challenges that we need to overcome and we need to work on. But I think that having more time is now an opportunity to think about, okay, right, what isn't great right now? What do I need to change in my thoughts? What do I need to change in my habits, my behaviours? And that's going to then obviously override and then really impact and heavily be positive towards that long-term vision, that long-term goal. Because obviously for me, the forefront is always going to be, you know, I want you to get the result that you absolutely want, but we need to do that in the best way possible. And for some people, there's maybe some other things that need to be worked on the outset. You know, some people maybe have different thought processes around food, training. Some people like to overtrain, some people like to undereat on foods, and other people are the opposite. So everybody has different journeys and different patterns and behaviours, but the outcomes and stuff are always kind of more or less quite similar. So it's now a case of, okay, identifying for you what you know from our previous conversations that we need to maybe home in on more, and now spend some more time thinking about, now that we have it. And I think this was just a time like you don't get this time. So yes, it's a bit, you can think it's a bit shit, and it probably was a bit shit. Like, I'll admit, when it first all happened, I was looking on the news, getting myself quite worked up and anxious, and I realised that wasn't serving me very well. That wasn't making me operate from the position or the thought process that I wanted to be working from. So I stopped, you know, homing in on that too much, because I know that it wasn't good for me. So it's now a case of, okay, adjusting your thoughts and adjusting what you do on a daily basis to impact and obviously overcome each and every barrier that you potentially have. So, and that just leads more nicely to my next part. It's like, well, what are you doing on a daily basis to consume? What are you consuming yourself with? Are you finding yourself getting quite caught up because you maybe have a family member that is maybe quite negative, or you might have a friend that's quite negative about the full situation, and without you even realising it, that's a drain on your energy as well. So we want to look at, okay, how can we build a positive environment, community? And that's why I've got the Facebook community, the Facebook page here, because at least like we all have similar thoughts, we all have similar goals, we all have similar desires. So it's about, you know, homing in on what is going to serve you well, for, you know, the long term, for this moment in time while we're in it. Because like you say, if you're constantly looking at the things that bring you down, looking at, you know, even if it could be your social media feed as well, because there is so much positivity around you, but there's also a lot of negativity, and you, before you know it, it's very easy to get sucked into that, become overwhelmed, become anxious, become upset, become angry, you know, all these kind of emotions and things that we already discussed. So that's what we need to make sure that we're protecting for ourselves, is that we're protecting our own thought processes and our own mindsets. Mindset is absolutely key, and if we can really adapt the right thoughts and the right, you know, mindset, like I say, throughout this process, you will come out of this stronger, in a better position than ever, and then you'll be able to really continue making some steady progress now that you've maybe looked at other things that maybe could have been doing with further addressing. So And it might be that, like, I know that I certainly go through this sometimes, that I realise that, you know, I've had relationships in the past with friends, family members, and I've realised that they're not serving me anymore because we're on different levels, we're on different journeys, we're on a different life, like, line at this moment in time. And it's just about accepting that things maybe break down, and some relationships and things don't maybe serve you well, especially if at this moment in time you do have people that are draining your energy. And just accept, okay, right, you need to be around people that are uplifting your energy, and so forward. So that's just some things that I really, really wanted to get you to consider and think about on a daily basis, because it's so easily done that one minute you could be in such a good mood, but then something could just, you know, hit into your thoughts and just create that overwhelm, that anxiety and that stress. And then that could be a massive negative thing for the rest of your day, potentially your week, months, whatever that looks like. So massively, I want us to be coming away from this and thinking about what we're doing on a daily basis to make sure that we have a purpose, we have a structure, we have a routine, so that we can still look after and protect ourselves. And that's not just about your nutrition and your training. Yes, that's massive, but there's so many other things, like spend some time journaling. Are you spending some time, you know, listening to maybe an audiobook? Are you read, or maybe sitting, just taking an hour to chill out and just read a book that's maybe something that's going to positively influence how you feel, or even just getting some time to relax, maybe I might be doing some yoga, I might be getting up in the morning doing some mobility. You know, just make sure that you have, if some people, obviously some people are working at this moment in time, some people aren't, maybe some people maybe don't have a lot to be doing in a day, so it makes it quite hard because you just feel like you're getting up and it's like, oh, I don't really know what I'm getting up for, I've not really got a purpose. Whereas if you set yourself some structure and some standards and things that you want to achieve in each and every single day, then that gives you, even just having that thought and that worth something to work towards is huge. It's so powerful. So for each and every person, I want you to all be thinking about that on a daily basis, and have your diary there. Be making sure that you've got stuff in, like plan your times for your walks, runs, whatever, so you're getting your daily exposure time, that you're getting your activity for the day, that you've got your workouts and things scheduled. Obviously everybody has different levels of kit, but I've pretty much, most people have got their gyms, their sessions now. So it's not just about, okay, jumping on and doing some sort of weird and crazy wonderful hit session that you've picked up from a social media feed, because there's a lot of that going around. And yes, that's lovely that obviously loads of people in the fitness industry are trying to help, but there's also not really there's no specifics, it's not to work, it's benefiting and serving you towards your goals. So now that you have that, if you want to jump on and do like a little hit workout that you've seen that looks quite good and looks quite challenging and it's going to, you know, lift you, that's absolutely fine. I'm not saying that's not, but now you have a proper training goal and structure around each and all your goals. That's going to be massive as well. So make sure that you're smashing that. You're not going to lose tissue. You're not going to, you know, get, you know, a lot of people have worried that they're going to gain body fat in this moment in time, but it's absolutely not, because it's just about, if you're, as long as you're controlling the variables that you should be controlling that we've talked about before, you know, getting the most important factor to your day is calorie balance. And that's not the calories that you burn in a gym session. And in fact, when you go into the gym to train anyway, when for strength training, you're not in there to burn calories, you're in there to build up your body composition, you're tearing tissues down, you're creating muscular damage, and then from your nutrition, that's how you're going to build your body composition back up. And that's why we have to look after recovery or protein levels. It's really, really important. So the calories that you spend in a day come from your BMR, from your NEAT. That's your, obviously your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, so how much you move around, like I'm doing, making these hand gestures now, your step counts, that's why you have step counts, and you know, things like that. So that, and then your thermic effective feeding, and then your exercise activity, that's what controls your daily calorie balance. So when you look at that in the hierarchy of importance to your expenditure, your exercise that you do in a day is about 10%. It's really minimal. So please don't stress about the fact that you think you're going to then just get fat because you're in the house more. You're not. You have an opportunity, and it's up to you what really happens in that, and it's how you control that. And for some people it's maybe, you know, the opposite. Some people are maybe stressed that, you know, they're going to lose too much weight because they're scared about losing muscle mass. And then again, just to confirm that, if as long as you train how I've asked you to train, and train hard and train intensely, really work on this metabolic tension and really create that feel in the muscle, I think that for each and every single person, that's a hugely beneficial thing, because now you're going to be thinking about what muscle am I contracting, am I squeezing that muscle as hard as I possibly can. And then moving forward, when you go back into the gym, you'll have taken a step back to your training, re-established all these things, and then once you go back into the training, you're going to train so much smarter. Ryan, can you stop that, please? What's that? You're really loud. Sorry, guys. And then sorry, so when you go back into the gym, you've already established all these things, you've taken things back to basics, and then when you go into the gym, you'll have that thought and that feeling in your head, so you know what each muscle should then feel like. So like I say, there's so many positives that we can take from this. It's not just, doesn't have to be all the negatives and things like that we've probably spent a little bit of time focusing on at the start, that kind of panic that probably did set in. Like I say, I'll admit I felt it as well. So that's why I kind of wanted to make sure that we have these kind of conversations, so that we're protecting that and then looking over, you know, the overall outcome. And what I want you to also think about doing, like, your health is so important. Like I know that we always say, everybody doesn't really think about health in the forefront. They probably think about it more now because they're now thinking about immune function and all this kind of thing. But what builds a healthy immune system isn't just something that you do, you know, you can't really change what's in your immune system by overnight or like in the next couple of weeks. It's something that you do over time that can that always, you know, adds up to having, you know, a healthy body and a healthy immune system and all the rest of it. It's what you do, you know, in terms of the foods that you eat. So how much protein are you consuming? Are you making sure you're getting enough of that? Because protein not only looks at the building blocks of body composition and satiety and all these kind of reasons that we talk about, but the extra protein that you have in your diet as well transfers and helps your immune function. Not only that, but your hair, your nails, all that kind of stuff. And then what about, you know, I say this all the time, I can't express this enough, but I need you to be eating a good variety of different fruits and vegetables. When I look at people's food diaries, half the time they send them back to me and it's like the same 2 vegetables, if that, in a day, and they're maybe only eating 2 veg sources twice a day. There's no fruit in there. And it's like, well, how are you getting all your micronutrients? Because when you think about like every single different food that you eat, you know, the amount of different varieties of fruits and vegetables, each contain different levels of different vitamins and minerals. So if you're not eating a variety of foods, you're missing out on vital components of those aspects. So you've got so many different vitamins and minerals that need to be looked after. And like I say, so that's again something that to be massively considered. If you're, you know, going hours and hours and hours without, you know, eating, or you're maybe just eating like one like little meal a day, like that's not going to be constructive when we're looking at the overall vision of health and building a healthy immune system. Then not just that, you've got your daily exposure time, you've got your sleep. Sleep is probably the biggest one. I should have said that first. You know, sleep is massive. That needs to come first. I'm seeing, you know, I get check-ins from people, I'm seeing that people are going to bed late at night, they're getting up early in the morning, they're having shit quality sleep, they're not having long enough sleep, and that's massive. Not only does sleep impair our ability to adhere to our diets because it skews our hunger hormones and things like that, but we're also looking at, you know, we're not getting the right levels of growth hormone, we're not getting the right levels of hormones in general to like where do we recover in our sleep. So if we're not getting those adequate levels of sleep, you're affecting that. And then not only that, if you are in a calorie deficit, for instance, and you're not getting enough sleep, you might lose weight, but the body weight that you're losing isn't coming from fat mass, it's coming from lean body mass. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to protect our lean body mass. So there's so many things that sleep does and controls that it needs to be looked after and protected massively. Then we've got hydration, and I'm seeing people, you know, running like they're maybe telling me they've only drank like 1 or 2 liters of water in a day. Again, that's not enough. Like your body runs on water, it needs its fluids. So there's so many things that look after our daily exposure time. Not only are we really badly affected by low vitamin D levels in this country, but we're also daily exposure time also helps set our sleep-wake cycle. It actually helps us sleeping again in the evening. So it's massive. It's something that's really overlooked. So it's why I do say to people to try and get out, even if it's 20 minutes in the morning, just to kind of set that circadian rhythm, set that sleep-wake cycle, get some vitamin D, get some exposure. Like, it's massive. So like I say, there's so many things from a health standpoint that we really do need to look after and protect, and especially for each and every individual, that'll look very different depending on age and goals and things like that as well. But just to put that out there, as we age, if we're not getting enough protein in our diet, we are really highly, like, we do start to lose lean body mass. And when I say lean body mass, that's not just muscle mass, that's a bone density. And as we age and we also then hit menopause, we have the unfortunate situation that we then lose estrogen, and estrogen really helps protect and look after our bone mineral density. So this is where, if you're not weight training is a massive way to aid the prevention of lean body mass production. But proteins even is just as big, probably if not bigger, because protein, having the adequate levels of protein, I'm not just saying that, like, say you've got a target of 120 grams of protein for the day, it's not just about smashing that in say 1 or 2 servings. It's also about looking at, are we separating out over say 4 to 5, so that we're adequately spiking muscle protein synthesis, allowing that to break back down and spike it again. That's there's been studies to show that that is a much greater way of protecting ourselves from these kind of circumstances, because the last thing we want to do is get to our 50s and have osteoporosis, and then once we get older have sarcopenia. That's another massive issue. So again, I know that that's going off on a bit of a tangent, but it's something that's so important, and it's really overlooked. I'm looking at check-ins and I'm seeing, you know, not enough protein levels going throughout the day. So we need to look at not just our progress from how we look from an aesthetic point of view, we need to think about our longevity. So again, that was just something that I really wanted to highlight and just go through a little bit, and just have your kind of make sure that it's something that you're really highlighting and thinking about in your day. This is why I'm really big on saying to you guys, like, make sure because the first thing that you think about eating with each meal is your protein servings. Have at least, it depends on per person, it depends on body weight, how much you should have. So I would have told you that with your when I sent out your original meal plan templates, how much protein you would need each day for you to adequately spike muscle protein synthesis at each meal. So that's something that really needs to be focused on, is getting at least, I would say at least 3, trying for 4 to 5 protein servings a day. And then think about your fruits, your vegetables, think about your dietary fats. So are you getting enough omega-3s in with eating things like salmon? If you're not eating salmon twice a week, then, or oily fish of some capacity, make sure that you're supplementing with something like an omega-3 is very important for cardiovascular disease health and things like that. There's so much that omega-3s contribute to as well. And then obviously different dietary fats, you've got polyunsaturated and monosaturated, all that kind of stuff as well. And then obviously carbohydrates, people have a massive fear of carbohydrates. They're scared, thinking that, you know, they're going to, you know, get fat if they eat a carbohydrate. People have a fear of pasta, for instance, or the bread or whatever, and it's not. It's all about calorie balance. At the end of the day, your food's all broken down into energy, and how your body uses that energy is dependent on what recovery demands it has and what you're obviously working towards in terms of goals as well. So that's something again that I just really need you to be more focused on. If anything, like now that you have time, you're at home, like you can cook from scratch, you can make some nice meals. You know, there's no reason why you can't be doing these things. And including, you know, a good variety of different foods. Get into a good routine now and set the standard where you've got more time at this moment in time, so that when you go back to whatever you were doing before lockdown, when you don't have as much time, you've already embedded these habits and behaviours and created better routines and thought processes around what you're doing on a daily basis. So what I do want you to consider and think to yourselves is, you know, and just even write some stuff in the chat box or talk to me and ask me any questions on this, but I want you to think about like what excites each and every single week when you've got your check-ins. I want you to think to yourself, okay, right, rather than it being like doom and gloom because you're maybe not getting out to do the things that you normally do, think about, okay, right, what opportunities is this created for me for this week? What am I excited about this week? What am I then going to implement this week that's going to serve and lift me up further towards my long-term vision? And then also like think about to yourself, okay, well, how is this situation maybe benefiting me? Because it would be so easy for you to turn around and say, do you know what, this is just shit, like I hate this. But that's not going to build, like that's not the kind of thought processes you want to have. So think about anything that you think in your head. It's about flipping that over and thinking about like, okay, what's the positives of this aspect? Like, what can I be learning from this opportunity? And like I keep saying the word opportunity because it's not a great circumstance, absolutely not, but it isn't time and an opportunity for us to excel in other things. And like I say, you don't get this time back, you don't ever have this much time, and it might feel like you have a lot of time, but that's because you're not filling it to the best of your ability with things that you maybe could be doing. Like I know that I've been shunting loads of things to the side because I've not had enough time to do it, and now I'm like, oh, do you know what, I don't really mind this lockdown because it's allowing me to study more, and it's allowing me to call my clients more, it's allowing me to maybe really work on a deeper level with different things that clients have got going on. Now that maybe clients don't have holidays to go on, it's like, okay, well, I want to talk to you about working on this now. So it's like, right, okay, let's not leave your goals, like your body, like I say, your body transformation journey hasn't stopped, it's just changed direction. We've just had to take a diverted route, and it's allowing us to take a longer route and work on so many other things. So think about this now as a way to just like create, shape and mold you and come out the other side a lot stronger, in a much better position. You're going to create such invaluable lessons. And it's always about keeping yourself inspired, motivated, because it's so easy done that you're at home, you're not, it's like we all love going to the gym. Like we all love that. It builds community, it gives us something to go to, it's our outlay. Everybody that I work with loves the gym, and that's what we all have in common, and it's why I coach all you guys. So it's like, well, okay, yeah, it's a bit shit, we don't have that anymore right now, but it's about keeping yourself motivated, inspired, and being encouraged by, like I say, the conversations that you have with other people. That's what I'm here for. You've got me as a coach. Like if you're feeling a bit shit, you're feeling a bit naff, you're feeling like you're struggling, like you reach out. You've got the community page. We're all on there. We're all there to help each other and support each other this time. So it's about now thinking about, and even just get up in the morning, just practicing some gratitude, thinking to yourself, spending 10 minutes, grab your water and whatever you do in the morning to kind of hydrate and things before you have your hydrate for your coffee. And then sit down and just think to yourself, okay, well, what have I actually got to be grateful for? And just practice some gratitude. Write down 3 things. Get your journal, write down 3 things in the morning. Write down in the evening what did you achieve that day? What was positive that day? And these are, I know these sound a bit naff and a bit out there, but they're hugely positive and they're hugely powerful. And you will feel a lot better doing these things. And even just listening to like audiobooks, like I say, like podcasts, even if there's different mindset coaches and things like that, there's loads of them out there. There's so many good people that you could follow on Instagram and things like that. And have like and look at, but there's also a lot of shit, so it's about filtering out the crap and homing in on the stuff that's the good stuff. So I mean, I kind of went on quite a while there. I don't think I came up for air, but I wanted to just kind of discuss that first of all, and then I wanted to obviously get like any questions that you guys had, and then obviously any topics and stuff moving forward. I'll put some videos together, get them on the page. This is like a great opportunity for us all to be learning and all to be upskilling, and like I say, coming out of this in a much better position. So I'm going to wrap that up there for what I've got to say. Oh, I've just realised that Erica's been waiting. Oh no, oh, she must be away. So yeah, so do you guys have any questions, concerns, anything that you want to kind of bring up and chat about? Hey, Erica,
no, not just now.
There. I don't know how long you were waiting for. You're on mute though, you'll have to unmute yourself. What were you going to say though? Sorry, Donnie.
No, nothing just now. Nothing that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm just taking in everything that you just said.
I know it was quite a lot. I have recorded this, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to post it, because obviously a lot of people couldn't join, and obviously Erica just joined now, so I'm sorry, Erica, you just missed me rambling on for I don't know how long there. A good wee while. How long were you waiting for?
Like half an hour, but it's fine.
Oh, were you? Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't see that. I just seen it there when I looked at the chat box. Oh, I'm still new to this Zoom thing, to be fair. But yeah, obviously like that was quite a lot to take in. So I'm hoping that this has recorded, and then obviously I should be able to link it and put it onto the page and stuff. But it is just a lot of things that I want you to kind of consider moving forward. Erica, sorry, I will like put it onto the page so you can watch it back. But it was just basically discussing kind of what we're going through at this time and how our goals haven't changed, etc. They're just having to take a different route and things. There's a lot of kind of useful, that I think would be quite useful thoughts and things moving forward. But yeah, was there anything that anybody wanted to ask or go through while we're on this call together?
The highlight for me is seeing Ryan walking about in his boxer shorts.
I know. Yeah. I couldn't tell him. I told him I was coming down here. I told him I was coming down here to do this call, and I thought that would be a cue for like, don't come down and pester me. But obviously, he's just kicking out.
Oh, it's made my day.
Laughing.
He's clearly picked his best boxer shorts as well for just sort of walking down. He's been preparing himself.
Oh god, sorry guys, very professional over in this household.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Like I don't know what it is, but see, being stuck in the house,
yeah,
I feel like I'm way more tired than I usually am. I don't know whether it's because like I'm not getting like I'm trying to leave all my windows open and stuff, but I'm so sleepy all the time, and I just don't know why. Like, but I feel like it's really kind of affecting my motivation.
Yeah.
Okay, so there could be a few things for that. What I would say is, like, are you still getting to your bed at your usual times?
My sleep is like awful, like, but it's gotten to the point now where I'm still sleeping like the same amount, but I'm just like, it's totally changed, like, because I don't have to get up at like 6:30 anymore, so I'm sleeping till like.
Yeah, so like remember what I was just saying there about like right now you don't have you've not had a certain like real purpose for you to go to bed and get up at the same times and things. So your routines fell by the wayside. So naturally, you'll be doing the things that you're probably shouldn't be doing. Like you're probably staying up a little bit later. You're maybe not getting up as early. So your sleep routine has gone to pot. So it's about now re-establishing what were you doing when your sleep was good and you weren't feeling tired. So get to your bed at reasonable time, because the later you go to bed, the less your sleep quality will deteriorate by the later you go to bed, even if you're getting up later the next day. Right, so re-establish those habits and routines that you had around, even like we had this conversation before, that your sleep still had to come forward. So now you've actually got an opportunity here to do that, because you're no longer having to go to the gym later on at night because it's so busy and whatnot. You're training in the house. So what I would say on that is, again, just get yourself into a better sleep schedule. So have a bath with some Epsom salts or something, get wine down the evening, less blue light, less stimulation to the brain, get back into that sleep routine, get a good, obviously try and get, and eventually over time, like we can discuss this on like offline as well on a one-to-one basis, but making sure that we're looking after what's like, because if there's something that's causing you to have shit quality sleep, we need to look at what that looks like and what's causing that. And it could be numerous things. It could be your room not being the right temperature, not being dark enough. It could be that you're not getting a good enough sleep routine, you're stimulating your brain too late in the evening, you're quite stressed. It could be, it could even be down to the nitty gritty as your food choices and consumptions and things like that. And then if you're not getting up at the same times, if you're just thinking, oh, well, I'm just going to sleep in later. If you sleep in later and you're having more sleep, then you're actually it's actually not constructive, because then unless you're obviously completely like in the position that you're so fatigued and you're so overtired that you need that sleep, then that's different. But if you're just like waking up and then going, well, I don't have anything to do or anywhere to be, so I'm just going to go back to sleep for a couple of hours, like that's what's causing you to, it's this overtiredness that's going to cause you to then want to sleep more and be tired. So it's a case of, right, get up, set a purpose to get up in the morning, get up, do what you need to do in the morning, whether that be that you get up and study, read something, like you must have loads of studying to do, so get up, do something like that for an hour, or even like get up and say you're 6:30 or whatever, go out, go for a walk like when it's daylight, or go for a run or something, and then that will set your tone for the day, because you've already got up, you've done something, you've achieved something. And I think massively, like I know personally, like if I have a day where I've slept in and I don't do something like a walk, something active, I know that I feel like dog shit, because I've just not been productive in my day. I've just like been a bit lazy. I've just kind of screwed around that morning. So that in itself's massive. Make sure that you're properly hydrating, because again, that can be a massive, like something that's fatiguing. And again, it can be something down to the point where you're low in certain vitamins and minerals as well. But yeah, it's probably just that you've not got a great routine nailed just now. And that's what's affecting and impacting you feeling more tired, because you're just kind of kicking about the house like, oh, I don't really have anything to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So again, that's like, we'll talk about that. That's all good stuff that you're bringing that up, because then we can talk about that offline and look at like, okay, let's like structuring the team is a massive part. Like that, those things and mindset are the biggest things right now that we really need to be homing in on and doubling down on.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else that you want to run through? No?
I didn't know whether to post it on the chat or not. I think I might. It's not really fitness related, but I've like found it quite good for like keeping me occupied during the day. There's they've released a list of like free online university courses, and there's like, I think there's like 150 different courses that you can do for free. So I started doing one, and they're actually really, really good. And you can get a qualification at the end of them I think you have to pay like £30 or something, but you can also, like, if you don't want the qualification, you can just do it for free. But they've got loads on there, and like I started doing a sports medicine one because I like obviously find it really interesting, and I definitely would recommend it. Like, they're really good.
Yeah. So what website's that on that you find out more about that?
I'm not sure. I can send the link on.
Yeah, put the link on the page, or at least send it to me. That would be actually, I would look at that.
Yeah, but no, it's really worthwhile if anyone wants to do it. They're from like all the different universities across like the world, so they're good.
Good idea.
See, handy having a little university student on the I know, that's brilliant. I would never have known that.
No.
Yeah, I someone sent it to me, and I'm honestly don't know how more people don't know about it, because it's absolutely amazing. Like, they're essentially giving you a free course.
Aye, that is brilliant. I'm going to look at that for sure. There you go. Give myself more things to study as if I've not got enough. Might as well take advantage.
I'm going to find the most obscure one.
What was that? Your
Who,
line.
me?
Did you say something? Your line. It's like your line keeps breaking up, so I can't hear you.
Right. No, I said I'm going to find the most obscure one possible and come out of this lockdown like qualified in mime or something.
There's some pretty weird ones.
I don't know. You'll not have any time, Erica. How's it going anyway? Erica's in the place.
Oh, well, no. I'll find something. I'll be fine.
Yeah. How's your work going though? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's all right. So I am now on 6 on 3 off. So I am back this weekend. So please don't leave your house. Please don't make me come and see you. And everything's just been a bit sort of up in the air. We've got new sort of probationers that we're working with, and they've only got 2 weeks training. So I'm having to concentrate on not breaking them. It's just all over the place, sort of back to shifts and things, which I haven't done for years. Sort of try to get my foods around that. I'm hitting my steps, my sleep's fine, but it's just sort of my eating. I haven't really been logging things, and yeah, just sort of slipping back into that. And shifts are going to be a challenge, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely, and that's something again that we'll chat about offline, because we do need to make sure that we look after all of that. Especially when you're super busy. So that's something we'll chat about some more, for sure. Cool. Well, I'll let you ladies go then. Thanks for joining me today. And again, Erica, I'm sorry that I didn't realise that you were in the waiting room there. But like I say, I'm going to, this should be recorded all fine, so I should be able to post this. So yeah, I'll let you go and enjoy your day, and enjoy your Easter Sunday tomorrow. Enjoy an Easter egg. Okay, right, nice to see you. Enjoy your day.
Bye.
Bye.